Hello everyone, prep your grab couches and get ready for the juice because we are about to flip and burn and head back into the Expanse. This will be a high G maneuver. I'm Andy and we're here to talk about the Expanse, and I'm joined as ever by my companion, co-host, willing victim, Elton.
Yeah, trying to learn stuff about this.
Yeah, how's that going for you so far?
Yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it. It's kind of ramping up now.
It is. We're getting into it. The juice is properly starting to flow.
Yeah.
And we're here to talk about episode 3 of season 1, Remember the CANT. So, as is tradition, before we begin our discussion, I'm just going to read the synopsis, just to give people the basic levels of where we are with this. Holden and the crew are taken prisoner aboard the Donnager, the flagship of the Martian Congressional Republic Navy, and begin to turn against each other. And while connecting the dots on Ceres, Miller connects Julie to the mysterious derelict ship, the Scopuli, and Avasarala engages in a nasty game of politics with an old friend. So what did you think of this episode? Just broad strokes.
I really enjoyed it. It feels like there's more politics and a bit of chess play coming along on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh yeah,
I'm kind of liking that feel. I felt the stuff on the Donnager, or yeah, that is how you pronounce it. Yeah,
it's how I pronounced it.
That was very. It took a nice back seat from everything.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that was the smaller story this time round, whereas everything else, either on Ceres or on Earth, was far more important. But
in a strange way, it's almost it's almost like, because for the most part of the Expanse, we're following Holden and the survivors of the CANT, but it's we have to get everyone up to speed. So they've kind of taken a little back seat while this episode kind of just gives us that backstory to kind of just help the story flow along. Yeah,
I feel maybe that was the action to get you into it, because it did feel like a two-parter, the first 2 episodes. And so that was the excitement and the action and okay, we've had an explosion, we've had a bit of spacewalking, and we've had a bit of peril as well. We've had our water episode. And, okay, yeah, that takes a back seat because we need a bit more politics, and now we need to fluff it up a little bit. We need to build up this world even more than what it is. And you're getting clear factions as well. Mm-hmm. You're getting their almost what they think they want to do in the future, like Earth. What was her name? Christian.
Avasarala. Or who I think we should refer to for the rest of this episode as Bubbles.
Bubbles? Oh, okay, yeah, yes. She's twisty. Very twisty. I kind of like it though. Yeah.
No, she is, as Frank says, at least you stab me in the chest.
Yes. Yeah. And I kind of like her new friend as well. Well, old friend, but new to us, Franklin.
Frank, yes, the UN ambassador. Well, I tell you what, since we're talking about Earth at the minute, shall we speak about what's going on with Earth?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Get the ball rolling here.
Yeah.
Cool. So, as we said, and as we picked up last week, there's concern that Mars and the OPA, the Belt, are kind of forming an alliance. They're selling them Sideltech, which will give them an advantage over the Earth and the UN Navy. And so she's very much like, the Cold War has ended. We're about to get into a shooting war. And, she's presented as something of a war hawk. It's like, we should deploy the fleet. We need to, we need to be ready. Send a strong message.
She is bristling for a fight.
She's certainly looking for one.
Yeah, I could see the heckles coming up on her. Definitely. She just was, well, we found out in the first 2 episodes that she's just risen to power, or risen to that position. She hasn't been elected to get up there. And
yeah, she is the, what is her actual job title? I'll just check on it. She is the Deputy Undersecretary.
Right.
So as you say, she's kind of like the third in line to the throne, but she has not been through a public election. She's kind of just graduated through the system and been elected, presumably, or installed there by, the political base. I don't entirely know how the the politics of the UN work in this, the internal. I don't think it's quite the same as it is now, since here the UN actually seems to have some muscle and effectively be in charge.
Yeah. But yeah, she's really bristling for a fight. She's shouting down I don't know his rank or anything like that, but
the Admiral.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
he is Admiral. Damn it, what's his name? He don't want to give a massive spoiler, but he becomes a very big character in Admiral Souther. There you go. He becomes a big character in season 2.
Right.
But he is the head of the Joint Chiefs.
Right.
So he's effectively in charge of the UN military.
And he's the dude that didn't want to go to war. He wanted to hold back because it's his men going to be killed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as they say, you want to fight a war, but it's my boys that are going to, my men are going to die.
Mm. Yeah, but yeah, I'm worried about her. Wondering what she's going to be doing. I'm wondering, thinking about this whole story, whether she's manipulating this or not.
Mm-hmm.
But you're either sat on your hands going, no, or just going, yeah, whatever.
I can neither confirm nor deny that either of these are the case.
Yeah. I just get the feeling that she's manipulating
all I will say, though, is I am finding these early episodes very interesting. And I'm not talking specifically about Avasarala and the people on Earth, but just all the characters. Seeing how they are here compared to how they are later, there's real character development throughout the course of The Expanse.
Yeah.
To give you an example that I know you'll be familiar with, it's like the character of Gator from Galactica.
Oh, yes.
If you look at Gator in the miniseries, and if you look at him, should we say, early in season 4, you won't recognize the character.
Mm.
But you won't be able to point and say, oh, he just suddenly changed. It's a gradual thing over the course.
Yeah, yeah.
And the same thing happens here. The characters we're seeing here aren't the characters that I'm familiar with in later seasons, but the evolution of the growth into those characters is very gradual and subtle, and it just shows good writing and good acting.
Mm.
So this has been really interesting for me.
Yeah, well, Christian, when we're introduced to Frank de Graaf, isn't it? Yeah, de Graaf.
Yeah, he's the UN ambassador to Mars.
Yeah, I like him. I like him as a character. I'm hoping we get to see more of him. And she's kind of slowly feeding him with all these details about, well, I don't even know if she actually knew that the technology on I'm forgetting names now, the one that got blown up, not the Canterbury, the other one. The
Scopuli.
Yeah, the Scopuli. I don't even know whether she knew that was Mars tech.
I don't think she did. No, she doesn't know anything about that as such. All that she knows, in fact, all that anyone knows in this episode, and they only know this because of the message that Holden sent out last time, is that the Canterbury was destroyed, and he blames Mars. He says it was attacked and destroyed by a Martian stealth ship.
Right.
That's all they know.
Right. Okay. So she's, man, yeah, she's well twisty. I don't trust her now. I really don't trust her at all.
This is the thing, because we definitely see that, Frank and her are very old friends. In fact, he was friends with her father, and he tells a story about, when she was a little girl. They're friends which go back years and years and years, and she's still willing to take advantage of that friendship and, in a sense, betray it for her goals. Now, the goals that she's, as she says, we averted a war because they were able to prove that Mars hadn't supplied the OPA with stealth technology, which was what she was pushing for war because of that reason. Since that's not the case, she comes back from that position. So when presented with the evidence that Mars isn't responsible, she stops. So it's not like she's a war hawk in that sense of, I want to attack this country. Well, the evidence doesn't support it. Well, that's not all that important. In fact, why don't we just pretend the evidence supports it and do it? She's not that.
Yeah.
Not mentioning any names or any particular wars there.
This country desperately has weapons of mass destruction.
Absolutely, definitely. Yeah. But she truly believes she's doing the right thing in that same way. Like she walks up to Frank at the end with the bottle of wine, or champagne, and he's devastated because he's been banned from Mars, and he spent all that time talking about him and his husband were going to go and build this house overlooking the the Mariner Valley. They were going to grow their own wine.
They have their own house up there as well, don't they?
Well, they have the house, yeah, and they have a life there. And it certainly seems like they've been living there for a long, long time, which I think was, they feel like a genuine couple, Yeah. Not something that's kind of clunkily written like, oh, we're supposed to know. There's real chemistry there, which is nice. And, he gives that really nice little speech about how the great thing about the Martians is it's an entire planet united behind a single goal to turn a desert into a garden. And we pavemented over our garden. We concreted over it, and we forgot how to dream. And I really like the way he's very sympathetic to the Martian cause. And she's like, yeah, all of that's built on the back of centuries of, Earth's knowledge. Earth must always come first. And it's like, should it though? Should it?
Yeah, he's devastated though, isn't he? He's really shocked to the core because he's the patsy, isn't he? He's been monitored, and I get the feeling that she moved all the positions so they knew where to monitor. And
she knew exactly what she was doing. What she did is she leaked false information. She said, "Oh, we have the evidence that this is what's going to happen. So tomorrow, the UN Secretary General is going to effectively declare war." And then he would speak to his contacts on Mars because he's white. He doesn't believe it's the case. And they're suddenly like, oh, we didn't do this. And they just started doing the inventory checks.
Yeah.
And Earth was able to track the comm traffic. And, they said, okay, so these are all the ones which is doing the stealth tech and weapons research. So she was satisfied that they hadn't done it now because they wouldn't be doing the inventory check if it was sanctioned. But at the same time, they've just revealed to Earth the location of their top secret weapons research facilities.
Yeah. I hope when they were doing the inventory, there was a really dusty old man just going into the back of a warehouse, going to the stealth section, and just got a little checkbook and no, got that. No, we've got all the stealth stuff. It's all here.
No, I'm hoping it was that music from Raiders, and you just have the big warehouse with all the crated up cardboard box, sort of thing,
Yeah, and it just pans up, and there's loads of stealth tech all over the place. No crystal skulls, though.
No crystal skulls, thank God. Well, because everyone needs a coaster for something or another.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But yes, so I mean that's really what was going on Earth. I mean, we met Frank's husband. What was his name?
I haven't got it in front of me.
Remember? No, I can't remember.
But I'm going to open up my IMDb just in case.
Probably be a good idea. Craig, there you go.
Yeah.
And it was nice how you had the Avasarala's husband and him went off to go and play darts, and I just liked the dynamic there, which was really cool.
Yeah, it felt classy. It felt sophisticated. It
felt genuine.
Yes.
It felt genuine. It's like these people all know each other. They're friends going back a long way, which made what she did all the more shocking in a way.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but there's not a lot else going along on Earth, but I don't trust her anymore. I really liked her in the first 2 episodes. I liked the way that she dealt with that belter and was trying to find out information. That was cool. That was crafty. That was almost like a Bond villain. But now she's manipulative.
Well, I would say she is very committed to her stated goal of serving Earth's interests.
Right.
And I think that's something that will continue to come to light. I think you're going to be very interested in her arc over the course of a series, though.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I tell you what, let's head over to the Donnager now and check in with Holden and the survivors of the CANT.
Yeah, this storyline, I suppose I was a little bit disappointed. I was hoping for a little bit more from this, but one of them has to take a back seat. We've got 3 stories running along at the moment, and one of them has to take a back seat for a little while. But yeah, I like this. I like all this stuff.
Firstly, and as fans of Space Dock and the Great Derelict will know, I love me a good brick. And the Donnager's the brickiest brick, but ever brick to brick. I love that ship. It's awesome.
Do we get any more shots of it?
Oh, my friend, the next episode. You said you wanted more of that. In fact, I think you'll recall, I always told you when I was trying to get you to watch The Expanse, I say, you've just got to get to episode 4.
Yes.
Just got to get to episode 4. We just did episode 3, my friend.
Yeah.
Soon.
Next week.
Soon. Oh, yeah, next week. Next week's a good one. But that's next week. This week, though, we're not there just yet. We're still kind of setting things up. Because we saw at the end of last week's episode, the Donnager intercepted and collected the shuttle from the CANT, but not before he managed to send off his distress signal or warning signal or whatever you want to call. And Martian's a bit pissed by that.
Wait, to use a phrase from 2018, it's kind of fake news, isn't it?
I think you'll find that was a phrase from 2016 and 17
okay, fair play.
And 18. But yes, you're quite right. Although, to be fair to him, given the information he's had, presented to him, it's a fair assumption he was perhaps acting a bit rashly in making that assumption.
Well,
something which the Martians are all too keen to point out to him.
They were in a very tricky predicament. They were on a rescue mission, which they thought they were on, and they found Mars tech, a Mars beacon, luring them in there, and their mothership, the Canterbury, was destroyed. Now,
by a stealth ship.
By a stealth ship, yeah.
We are told the only people who can afford stealth technology are Mars.
Is Mars, yes. And so you're going to put all these numbers together and get the number that you think is correct. And so it all pointed to Mars doing this. And I don't blame them. I thought it was Mars doing this as well. So I don't think they're wrong in doing that. But now looking back on it, is that why Naomi didn't want him to transmit that?
I don't know if that's why she didn't want him to transmit that. I think it was more a case of, we're about to be taken aboard a Martian ship. Maybe, don't piss them off right beforehand. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking, because I'm still wondering about this Naomi. Because
especially after this episode.
Well, because of this episode, yeah, I didn't have any doubts up until this episode, but we're made to think that she could be possibly OPA. Oh,
it's very heavily suggested that she's OPA. I mean, one of the things they do is, pull them all away separately and, basically just sow doubt. They're blaming each of them, blaming the actions on the people in the group. There's the suggestion that, it's Naomi because she's OPA, or maybe it's Holden because he's a disrespect. He has sympathies with the OPA, and that's why he left Earth.
Yeah, hasn't been back to Earth for a while.
Yeah, I mean, we learn quite a bit about Holden's backstory here. He served in the military, but was dishonorably discharged for attempting to hit a superior officer. He has 8 parents, 5 mothers, 3 fathers.
I was confused with that. Is that just a big family and lots of people living under one roof?
No, because when Lopez, the Martian XO who's interviewing him, asks, who are your true parents? He says it was a full genetic mix. So it's some form of IVF where they've taken characteristics from all of them, mixed them all together, and ta-da!
Right. Okay, yeah, I was very confused about that. So that is actually splicing it. It's like gene splicing to get the best of everything around you.
Yeah, it seems like that. And that's what was said there. We find out that Alex has served in the MCRN.
Yeah, and honourably discharged as well. So he's done his time and he's been removed from that system and free to go wherever he wants.
Yeah, he's done 20 years, he said.
I like that.
Doesn't look that old, but yeah, he's done his 20 years and now he's, he's left the military service and off doing his, joined the Canterbury.
I like that he can do that. That once he's served his time, he's free to do whatever he wants. That's like civil servants over here, isn't it?
It's like the military. It's like the military over here. A lot of pilots working for, say, British Airways who previously served in the RAF. Huge amounts of them do it. So yeah, it's the same sort of thing I expect.
Yeah, I like that. That's just because when they're lined up and you can see the captain, we don't know that she's the captain just yet.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming first officer as well.
Yeah.
And they're looking at the Mars Tech, the beacon that they had from the Scopuli. And they're all lined up. They're doing that little touch on the neck thing. I'm guessing that's an identity thing that they have. Microchips, maybe.
Yeah, because with when it gets to Alex, it's a different beep, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, oh no, you don't have to worry about this guy. He's got a blue passport.
Yeah. Little on the nose there.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
No, it's all right. But if anyone knows how I can actually move to Mars, I'd be very interested to hear it. I will happily go and found the MCRN right now.
But yeah, I like the way that it's leading up to Alex and his little test, and it makes a little noise. Nobody says anything. People look, but don't say anything.
I don't think they know what it is, but when we first see him, when Holden's taken in there, and he's standing there in that uniform, the first thing that went through my mind when I saw this was, he's the traitor. He kind of sold them out for, I was like, I never suspected it was him. Right. And it wasn't him. It was nothing to do with it. But it was just, you feel like what Holden feels seeing him in that uniform for the first time.
See, I didn't think of anything really. I waited for him to say his piece, and he said he was in the military and honorably discharged. And I totally, straight away, just believed that story. Maybe I'm just far too gullible.
Oh, maybe.
I think I may be, but Amos is tased as well. He's taken down. He is
a scary motherfucker, isn't he?
Yeah. You ain't going to want to nick his toast, are you?
No. Just the way, when, he walks into the room and, he's, they say to Naomi, are you OPA? And Amos, he just doesn't care. And I wish we could have seen his interrogation. Because I imagine if I said, is Naomi OPA, he'd have been like, I don't know. I don't care. And he just kind of grabs Alex and, goes, go on, call the guards. The bullets will hit you first. He just doesn't even blink. He's terrifying.
Is he out for himself, or is he out for himself and Naomi? Because we could see that he was really working with her on their the pod that was broken down.
I've got to tell you, in my estimation of Amos, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, he's like a really loyal dog to Naomi.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't really matter what she does or who she is or anything like that. If anyone looks like they're going to hurt her or go against her, he'll go for them. That's just kind of how he is.
Right. Is he looking for a way out, though? Is he like a Chewbacca?
Ooh.
Has like a life debt?
No life debts as far as I know.
Right.
But again, I have to be careful about what I say because I don't want spoilers.
Yes, yeah. I'm trying to get you to say stuff, but I don't want you to.
Yeah.
I honestly don't want you to. I'm enjoying it too much.
You're trying to trip me up just to see if you can. But, I won't. I would be strong.
Yeah, he's a scary MF, really. And I like the way that when he wakes up again, he's just bang on it. He wants a ruck straight away and trying to intimidate that guard and the guard's just not biting.
I don't think he's trying to intimidate them. I think he's just trying to start a fight.
Yeah, yeah. But the guard's not biting whatsoever. No.
You definitely get the impression that these are very professional soldiers and sailors. It's just like, nope, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
Which was very cool.
And the interrogation.
Yeah, I was about to say about that. Yeah, interesting, wasn't it?
What's that little bead?
I had to look this up. It's called a focus drug.
Right.
And what it says it does on ye old wiki is it allows someone who's using it to pick up like changes in perspiration and heart rate and all those sort of things. It massively improves awareness. They can detect small changes in facial expressions or body language or anything like that to find out if someone's lying.
Yeah, that's why we've got the weird camera angles and the zoom in on the mouth and the eyes and
the eyes dilating.
Yeah, yeah, and he wants to see hands as well. So yeah. It's not I
think he wanted to see hands more just to put the other person uneasy and also make sure they're not hiding weapons or anything.
Yeah, but it's.
Because at first I thought, he had some sort of latent telepathic powers or something, like Babylon 5.
That's what I was hoping it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was just to help them, pick up on any details they might have missed.
Yeah, any magic, I think you might lose me straight away at the moment. It's too early for magic. Too early for magic.
No, the dragons come in season 3.
But yeah, I like the idea of it. It's just space pez. That's the way I saw it. It's like a little container, pop one out and have it, and then you saw his iris just open up.
Yeah.
The aperture just straight away. And you're like, oh, okay. And I like the way it was half of his face as well. The shot was half of his face. And that's all you needed to see what was going on. And he was like frowning and scowling. And the other people were looking nervous or trying not to look nervous. And he was looking at the twitches of the mouth and it was good. That was real good stuff.
It's interesting, the line of questioning. He'll ask a couple of mundane questions and then just throw in suddenly a non sequitur, presumably to try and make them trip up. Something that was mentioned, which I'll just say this will play off later on, is he's talking to James and you're going, Saturn, Ice, Ceres, Saturn, Ice, Ceres, Saturn, Phoebe, Ceres. And Holden and Naomi both go, but Phoebe's off limits. It's a research base and all that. What's that to do with anything? But that will come back later.
Right.
And Phoebe is, I believe, a moon of Saturn.
I'm trying to think now. I thought it was a satellite of Mars, but that's something else, isn't it?
No, that's Deimos and Phobos are the satellites of Mars.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. Getting all the moons and everything. It's brilliant. I love it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a regular satellite of Saturn. So there you go.
Why didn't you tell me to watch this earlier?
I did many times.
Yeah, you did, yeah. But yeah, I really like these interrogations. Naomi's one as well. I know we touched on it a little bit. That was quite cool. Yeah, the hands on the desk. But it's interesting that he walked up behind her and just unlatched her cufflinks.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about that. That's got me wondering.
I'm not sure. It was also interesting seeing there was some sort of hand signal when she, he said, "Show me your hands," and I couldn't pick up if that meant something or not.
Was that do you remember in episode 1? I think it was when you had the preacher. Mm-hmm. Didn't he do a very similar hand signal?
I think he did, yes. But I don't know if it's the same hand signal.
Is it meant to... I'm wondering if it's for us to think, oh, maybe she is OPA.
It might well be, yeah. I did like when she said, though, just because I'm a belted, do you think we're all OPA? Do you think we all just, go for meetings and know each other? Which was an interesting aspect there. We don't get a lot with Medic Shed Garvey. But the bits we do get are quite funny. Like when, him and Amos walk in and they see Alex and Amos goes, "What, did you just sign up?" And he goes, "Is that an option?"
Yeah, he's cut. I'm not going to say, well, he's not comic relief, but he's adding them little, he's got the one-liners, isn't he?
He's got the one-liners, and again, when he's trying to speak to the Martian guard, he go, "Hey, I dated a Martian once, really resourceful people, and all that." He's nervous, so he's just trying to talk.
He's proper sucking up, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
proper sucking up. But then they all end up in the same room, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
So first off, you have Alex, and then Holden joins them, joins him. Then who else joins him?
Then it's then it's Shed, but we don't see him taken in there, but we see Amos and Naomi arrive, I think, at the same time.
Yeah. Was it at the same time? No, I think Naomi was the last one to walk in, wasn't she?
No, I think it was Amos arrived and then Naomi kind of was very close behind.
Oh, okay, correct. And so everyone's like accusing her of being a sleeper agent.
Well, I think they're accusing each other, because, presumably what Lopez has done is he's kind of sowed seeds of doubt. Is it Holden? Is that Naomi? And I think once they kind of caught on to the OPA aspect of Naomi, they kind of steered it more that way.
Right.
It's the one that's easiest to sell, I suppose. Because all they're looking to do is just move the blame away from Mars. Because, as far as they're concerned, Mars had nothing to do with it. Well,
Mars knows that. I'm assuming Mars didn't have anything to do with this. So,
as far as the crew of a Donnager knows, Mars has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So that's their stated position. That's what they've been told, and they just don't appreciate it being blamed for that, and potentially, escalating tensions in what's already a very tense solar system.
Yeah. So on the Donnager at the moment, we have our little band of rebels, shall we say, who have lost
our survivors, yes.
Yeah, our survivors who have lost their mothership that they were from the Canterbury, and
lost
now
their home and all their friends.
Yeah, and lovers as well.
Ah, yes.
And now they're being fractured to the point where one of them is wearing a Mars uniform, so they're kind of isolated from each other as well as from everything else.
Yeah,
it is a divide and conquer situation, isn't it?
Pretty much. It was pretty much to kind of just, sow that, doubt and discord, if they can't agree with themselves about what the story is, if it's not going to stand up in any kind of court or anything like that. So, and I think they know, Mars knows that, they've kind of made this wild accusation without any real evidence. And that's that. But then what we get is Holden, when he sees the effect it's having, deciding, look, fine, I'm willing to talk, to go up to the captain. And Captain Yo, I believe her name is like, okay, you're going to issue an immediate retraction, you're going to blame it all on Naomi Nagata. And he's like, no, I'm not going to blame Naomi. And then she points out that, well, just FYI, there's a ship coming, it's burning hard, and it ain't answering our hails.
Okay, so this is the one that attacked the Canterbury, isn't it? I
don't know.
It has to be. It's in that region. It has to be. Oh, no, but don't you? Oh, you son of a gun.
Also, would it have taken that long to get there? Because it was in the region anyway. There's not that much time has passed. So if it was that ship, it wouldn't be burning hard to get there.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, I hate you knowing. That's horrible. I hate this. I'm the most stupid one in the room at the moment. Well, that normally happens anyway, but I hate this. It's horrible, man.
Oh, but you get to experience it all for the first time, you see, and that's great. That is.
So we got a ship burning hard, and I like that they can't see this ship though, can they? They're just seeing
all they can see is the heat plume. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that shot of it as well. It's just it's roaring to get to you.
Oh, and that's the nice thing. There's no, as you say, there's no magic sensors. It's all based on current technology. Maybe, enhanced and expanded wherever it can be, but it still relies on, current technology and current physics. And, there aren't magic sensors that are going to give you a live video feed from several light minutes out.
Yeah. There's no zoom in. Enhance that screen and zoom
enhance.
And enhance and zoom and enhance. None of that bullshit that we've come to know and love in sci-fi and other films as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so none of that. So that's for Donnager until next week. I'm just gonna rub my hands in eager anticipation of that.
I think we'll be talking about that a little bit more now, won't we? There's going to be a battle, isn't there? There's going to be an awesome little battle.
All I'm saying is you've got to get to episode 4.
Cool. Looking forward to it. Right. Okay. So now we got to go back to Ceres.
We're back to Ceres. Yeah. Our last major destination for this episode. Previously, Miller has effectively solved the case with Julie Mao. She's not on the station. She'd boarded the Scopuli and left.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. But Holden's message has reached Ceres. They know about the destruction of the Canterbury, and more importantly, they know that they needed that water, and that water's not coming now. It's not that the ship's missing or lost or late. It's been destroyed, and all that ice has gone too.
Yeah. He's front page news, isn't he?
Oh, he is everywhere, and they are not happy about it.
Is everyone looking at it though, isn't it? Every single screen has got his message on there, and I really like that. That's adding a sense of depth to the series. It's got everyone in a panic about this. No, we haven't got any water, and thus there are rucks occurring because of this as well. People are not liking this, and it's because he's pointed the finger at Mars. All the people from Mars on the Ceres are now getting the sharp shrift.
Oh yeah, we see that there's a Martian ship trying to depart, and the dockers just won't give them the water. They're beating them up.
Mm.
It's a very tense time there, and it's a powder keg, and it's just waiting for a spark to go off.
Yeah, it feels like it. But we have Havelock learning. Now, what language was this again? Sorry.
Belter Creole.
And that's from the lady from the first episode.
Yes, I believe a lady of the night, to use the professional term.
Yes. So he's learning some sort of, the language. I'm trying to work out what he was trying to.
I think he was trying to learn a gesture, effectively to try and calm someone down, to tell them,
diffuse something.
Yeah, exactly. It's a way to try and diffuse something without it escalating.
Yeah. And Miller, he's kind of told to forget about Mayo as well, isn't he?
Mao,
sorry.
Well, it was a job for a stockholder as a favor. They were just doing it because they were being paid to do it off the books. As far as the chief's concerned now, we've done the job, we've done the favor. Let's move on. We literally have more important things to worry about. The powder keg's about to go off. You've got water rationing now getting to critical levels, and you've got the OPA, riling everyone up. You've got the preacher back again. Getting everyone kind of riled up in the Medina area. Going on about this is deliberate. They're trying to kill us all.
What is the time span on this? Do you reckon? Do you reckon this is days?
From when the CANT was destroyed, destroyed? I think we're probably talking 1 or 2 days. Yeah. Right.
Okay. Because the graffiti went up really quick.
Oh well, I don't think you see it in this episode, but
there's a remember the CANT.
No, I know there's a remember a CANT, but you see someone applying graffiti at one point, and I don't think this is really a spoiler. The technology of spray cans has changed.
Oh, okay. Right. Can I guess what it might be then?
You may guess.
Okay, is it going to be like a digital thing?
Not quite. I honestly think it's next episode, so I won't go into it. Well, it's not a spoiler or anything. It's just as you spray it, it effectively digitally puts the image up there. So it's like the template, the mask is already kind of done there.
Right. So
very quickly, you can put up any kind of, you could put up a Banksy in about 20 seconds.
Right. So the image would be loaded into the can and you just spray. It's like a blue screen.
Exactly. Yeah. That sort of a thing.
Okay.
So you'll see that coming up.
All the art has been lost.
A little bit, but you still got to design the template in the first place, so it's fine.
But that means you're not going to get kids riding the subway trying to tag trains. That's really
of course not.
disappointing.
They're too busy trying to tap into the water lines to steal the water from the gardens.
They've got other things to worry about, really, haven't they? Like living.
Yeah. Something else that happened here, which you won't believe it, but is something that's going to play off later on throughout the series. There were Mormons in space.
Now, this was the guy trying to sell Havelock something.
A comedy club. He's trying to get him to come to a comedy night.
Right. And I couldn't... he gave him a fake name, though, yes?
Gave him the captain's name.
The captain's name. Hang on, sorry. What captain? Which captain?
The chief, the police chief.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So gave her that name. And then Miller was like, "Oh yeah, you need to keep on it. Make sure it shows up."
I couldn't work that what that was all about.
I think it was just showing that Havelock's not a overly by the book sort of guy. He can have fun.
Yeah.
Because what we've seen of him so far is he's very green and he's yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full. So this was just, I suppose, to give him a little bit of personality, show he's one of the guys a little bit. Yeah. A bit of a bonding moment between Miller and Havelock.
Yeah, but the way I saw it, it was a bit left field. I didn't really understand it the first time I watched it. And I was, okay, did he give him a fake name? I don't know. I have to come back and visit that later. And then I saw, it seemed like a fake name anyway, but I couldn't put where that name was from. I'd missed it. I'd totally missed it. And it kind of adds another little bit of flesh to it, doesn't it? It's like it's a throwaway thing, but it's there and it's just adding, it's bumping it up a little. Oh, I love it. I'm really, really enjoying it.
That's cool. We see Miller's still hung up on Julie Mao.
Yep. Yeah, he can't drop that, can he?
He can't drop it. And I liked a bit when, and I can't remember her name, the other detective, Octavia.
Yep.
Says, "Why UK? You usually love it when these things just go away." And he's like, "Yeah, but when that happens, it's my choice." Yeah. So he's kind of, annoyed that this has happened and, it's outside of his control. And he goes looking for Anderson Dawes. Anderson Dawes is, in effect, the head of the OPA on Ceres.
Right, okay.
And he's played by a guy called Jared Harris, who you might remember if you've watched The Crown, is King George VI.
Oh, I haven't seen that, no.
Yeah. I just found it strange because I saw this before I saw The Crown, and then when you see this guy playing King George, it's like, oh, that's different.
Has he still got the accent, though, playing King George?
No, he does not.
Oh, that's really disappointing.
Not. But it is a great accent. I do like it.
Yeah, it's a mixture, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
There's
a bit of Afrikaans in there, it seems like.
Yeah. There's a little bit of American in there and a hint of British.
Yeah. You know who he reminds me of? Again, just referencing Galactica because I know you're familiar with it.
Mm.
He's very Tom Zarek.
Okay, yeah, I can see that position. Because, Zarek was in a position where he was kind of ruling lots of people anyway, wasn't he?
Well, he was ruling a fiefdom. And, Anderson Dawes here is, that they're about to, kick off about this, the Martian giving water, and Miller's about to shoot the guy in the head.
Yeah.
And then Dawes comes in, who effectively is the head of the OPA, as I said. And he's like, no, give them the water. We're not animals. You know, they do this stuff. You know, we'll show we're better than them. You know, he comes across very much as a peacemaker. And then he's like, Miller, you do good work. You know, when the time comes, we're going to need people like you.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be loyal to a belt, and you just know he's bad news.
He's recruiting straight away, isn't he?
Oh, he's recruiting. He's playing all the angles. He is he's a conniving little bastard is what he is.
Well, yeah, that's the way it came across. The way that all dictators are portrayed as, no, let's feed the poor. Let's this little child here, and taps him on the shoulder. Look what fucking Saddam Hussein did to that kid in 91.
Mm-hmm.
Brought him over and like, oh, little boys. And then sent them away. Like, no, you're a little bastard, aren't you? You really are. So yeah, I got him sussed straight away, shall we say. But just going back on Zarek, I think it is.
Yeah.
Do you want to know an embarrassing thing about that?
Sure.
Because he passed away in 2016, I think it was, wasn't he?
Richard Hatch. I think it was actually only last year, 2018, I think.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, not cool, but only after he'd passed did I realise that he was Apollo from the original series.
Really?
Yeah, it was only after he passed away. I was like, oh no. It didn't click.
And you'd seen the original series, yeah?
I'd seen it loads of times, especially when they fly into the sky on their bikes.
Okay.
Through space.
No, but Galactica 80 we don't speak about, so.
I want to get me one of them bikes.
Well, yeah, I can understand that, but we don't speak of Galactica 80.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, anything else going on in the series? Miller's still looking for Julie, it seems, or at least trying to figure out what's happened, especially when he connects the Scopuli with the Canterbury. So, you know, he's kind of, at the very least, professionally curious. And I also think the police chief telling him to just drop it, you know, Captain Shadid, was it?
Right.
I think that at least is enough for him to say, well, you got my back up now. I'm gonna have to solve this now.
Yeah, that's like putting a red button in front of you and saying, "Don't press this red button."
A little bit like that.
Don't.
I really liked his hologram setup he had as well in his room when he was kind of trying to work out the route it to. Right.
Okay. So it's going from a tablet type thing, yes, and then he throws it up to his TV screen.
Well, before even that, he's got his little phone tablet device, and it's playing or at least projecting a big hologram in the room that he can kind of interact with, and he can then shrink it down onto that, and then he can flick it up to the TV. I think if you have like an Apple TV and an iPhone, you can do the same sort of thing. You kind of flick it towards there, and it will go up on that.
Yeah, I think you can. Yes.
But yeah, that was all very interesting.
Well, the more he's diving in, the more he's finding out. He found the security footage of Mao and the scuffle that they had, which was mentioned last episode.
Yeah, with the dock worker who wouldn't take no for an answer.
Now, that is not just taking no for an answer, the way that he grappled her. And she's well within her rights of opening up a can of whoop ass on him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But
she schooled him.
Yeah, definitely. But the more he digs, because he finds one of the dating, the guys from the dating app, doesn't he? Night Bandit 31.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they find him dead after the riots.
Yeah. So I thought he left with her on the Scopuli. That's what I thought anyway. That's what I took away with it. I thought that was one of her dating things, and then he got her onto the Scopuli. Or maybe he just led her towards that direction.
I think he was her connection into the OPA, because he does, when Miller's speaking to Dawes, he basically points out that he crewed up the entire freighter with OPA agents.
Right, okay.
Or known operatives. So he's like, you took this, rich girl, who's kind of lost, and, you stuck her in this freighter. So yeah, I think the suggestion is that this guy was killed. It might not just have been random violence. It might have been a bit of cleaning house and taking advantage of what was going on to do it.
Ah, I didn't think of that. Oh, okay. So there are riots kicking off though because of this allegation that Mars destroyed the Canterbury.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
they seem to be. They haven't got. Am I right in thinking they haven't got the budget yet to show mass groups of people?
I think it's partly that, and I also think it's probably just how Ceres is kind of set up. You don't want to have a place where you can have too many people in one place, because if you do have an air failure like we saw back in episode 1, kills people. So you probably want to limit the scope in that sense. At least that's potentially a real world way of explaining it.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. If you don't have all the people in all the same place, then you're not going to have a massive wipeout of all the people then, are you?
Yeah. Especially when we know that with Ceres, the safety equipment's not necessarily up to snuff all the time.
No. They're not being scrubbed correctly, are they?
No, they're not.
So during these riots, we have Havelock disappearing because there's a report of a scuffle happening somewhere else in a different sector, and so he volunteers to just go there.
It's near the let's just say the brothel. Effectively, it's where the girl who's teaching him is.
Yes.
So he wants to go off to make sure she's safe, and he disappears off.
Okay.
And I think Miller knows what the score is there, and he's like, if you want to go, fine, but. He doesn't view it as a priority, and he certainly doesn't view it as any danger. He just thinks she's a hooker. He doesn't know what he's going there to do. So
he mentioned something at the very beginning when he said about, "Did you have a nice breakfast?" And he knew exactly what that meant.
Well, he knew he went there and spent time.
Yeah,
just not necessarily knowing what he was doing there.
Oh no.
Yeah. So he's like, don't fall in love when you're paying for it, because again, he's viewing Havelock as green as a new recruit, but we have just as we're starting to get to know him and starting to like him, and he's coming across as this sympathetic character who's trying to learn, to build a bridge. He gets cornered by some OPA types who decide that, you know what, you'd look really good mounted to that wall.
This is cruel, man. This is really cruel.
It's cruel, and it's properly visceral. It's just like, he's like, no. And then they fire effectively a bolt into him.
Yeah, it's like a proper harpoon.
Yeah, it's like a drill bolt into the rock. And it goes through him and just nails him there onto the wall. And they film it as well. They're filming it with their phones.
I didn't see that. I hope they're filming it in landscape.
I didn't see. But, they are monsters, probably not.
Oh, man, if they haven't learned that by then we got no chance. We got no chance. You can't have a riot and then film it in portrait, you idiots.
Yeah.
Landscape, people. Landscape. Oh, so I'm guessing
the episode ends with him mounted on a wall.
I'm guessing he's dead then. Don't say anything because you cannot confirm or deny this. But from my point of view, he'd be brown bread. There was blood, and it was in almost like a central heart position. So, yeah, he's got it, unless there's some sort of magic. Oh no, that we do have things to fix people, don't we? I can almost hear you smiling or frowning.
Well, I can't say anything. You said I can't say anything either way. So I'm like, well, I don't know what to do then.
I'll find out next week anyway, but...
I was going to say, you're going to find out next week, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, see, that's the thing, right? Because we're left with a guy pinned up against the wall, and if you, in TV land, if you don't see a body, then don't assume that they're dead. But we have seen the body and the almost lifeless body of this guy. But we've seen the guy who had his arm ripped off being fixed, and they can grow new bits, and there is medical procedures laid out already. So there might be something I haven't seen or we haven't been told yet. So I'm just going to have to hang out for another week, aren't I?
You're going to have to wait.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of balls up in the air here. We've got Havelock nailed to the side of the wall, and we've got an unknown ship burning hard and fast towards the Donnager.
Yeah.
And we've got the question of, is Naomi at OPA? Is she not? Is Mars responsible? Is it not?
Is it the same ship that blew up the Canterbury as well?
Yeah, is it? Who knows? I know, but I'm not telling you.
Oh, I'm sure you do. I'm really sure you do.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. It was a nice little step up from the other two episodes. I think out of the three so far, the second one was the weakest, but it's not the worst of TV I've ever seen. Trust me on that.
No, I think it's in the same way with Galactica. You have, 33 is just such a good episode, and Water's still a good episode, but it's not as good, and it just feels a bit of a letdown because of that.
Yeah.
Was this your first time watching this episode, or had you seen this one previously?
No, I hadn't seen it. No. From here on out, no, never.
Okay, so from here on out, we are in virgin territory for you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, interesting, exciting.
I did watch it a couple of times though. I have to admit that I did watch it a couple of times, and I still need to. I find that I always need to. I missed loads of stuff. I always miss loads of stuff. In films as well. I should really watch films more, just to get a grip of it, because sometimes I'm left scratching my head going, I don't know. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. So, yeah, it helps watching it a couple of times. And especially the way I do it, I watch it and then I'll rewatch it, but then make notes on it as well.
Yeah. And
the making notes makes me dive in. I have to really concentrate on it so I can make the notes. So I'm probably getting more than what I would be on just a bog standard second rewatch.
Well, I can definitely guarantee you next week's one, you're probably going to want to watch at least twice.
Do I want to watch it on the biggest screen possible?
I would.
Yeah. Okay.
You come out here if you want. You can watch it on ours.
Oh yeah, you got a massive TV, ain't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised you're not selling like black cards for that. Have your own
Good
black cards. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I don't mind.
Okay, so what's the next episode called then?
The next episode is called CQB.
CQB, okay.
It's classed for Close Quarters Battle.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, CQC was from Metal Gear Solid, wasn't it? All that CQC stuff. Yeah. Okay. That's where I kind of know that from. And looking at it, I'm not reading anything, but there's 8.8 on IMDb for this episode. So, oh man, it's going to get good. It's going to get good.
I can't remember. It's the episode which stands out for me the most in season 1. I'm not saying it's the best episode in season 1.
Yep.
But it was this episode where I was like, that's it. It was my 33.
Okay.
It was that one episode. It's like, bang, I'm in. I'm on board.
Yeah, 33 did do that, didn't it?
33, but then Galactica had the mini series before that to set everything up, and then that just first episode was just so good. But I've really enjoyed all of the episodes to date, but CQB for me at least was the one where I was just like, yes.
Okay, cool, good stuff. Right, okay, I think we should end it there for this time out, if you don't mind.
I think we've kind of done all the stuff we had to do there. Yeah, we've come to that part of the cast where we have to plug our wares, haven't we?
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah. So who's going first on this then?
Oh, after you, sir. After you.
Okay, right. Where do I begin? You can catch me talking about stuff over at rogue2media.com, and we have quite a fair few amounts of shows over there. We have the Shonky Lab, which is me just talking random stuff with random people about random events, etc. What else do we have? We had the Grand Prix Podcast, which is very, very soon coming back because the season is opening up soon in March.
About a month to go.
Yeah, but testing starts very soon.
No. Testing starts in about a month.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Well,
which is good because we've got 7 weeks worth of Expanse we've got to get through.
It's going to work, isn't it? Can we do this?
I think we're going to provided we're able to record regularly and we don't miss anything, we should just finish the Expanse right before the beginning of the season kicks off.
Okay. And then hopefully people might want us to do season 2.
Mate, I suspect, I don't want to preempt this, but I suspect you will be wanting to do season 2. You'll be like, no, we're doing season 2. I don't care about Formula 1. I want to do the Expanse.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I'm wondering, what do I do? I won't binge it. I'm from now until whenever we get to the end of it. And that's asking a lot, I suppose, but I'm not going to jump ahead. I'm just going to keep it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it like this.
Good
anyway,
good luck with that.
Yeah. Back to plug-in. So we have the Grand Prix Podcast, Shonky Lab.
Yes.
You can also catch me on Black Dog, which is at blackdogpodcast.com. We have the Flix Capacitor as well. It's me and Mr. Ian Lee talking about time travel movies. And I'm sure there's others I've forgotten, but I'll pass the baton on to yourself.
Oh, well, as you've already mentioned, most of my content can be found with you over at Rogue 2 Media. Because in addition to the Grand Prix podcast, we did From the Earth to the Moon podcast, where we did the Earth to Moon series and Apollo 13 and First Man. And we also did the Band of Brothers podcast. And obviously you can find this, the Expanse podcast. The other thing you can find me on is the Great Derelict, which has actually just undergone a little bit of an address change and what's the technical term here? But basically, if you enjoy listening to me and many guests like Elton and Lee Metcalf and Dave Prober talking about anything to do with science fiction, you might like the Great Derelict. But we've just changed our show slug. So if you're subscribed on iTunes, you might have to resubscribe. And if you want to just look us up, it's greatderelict.libsyn.com. Or you can Google it. Either way, you'll find it. But yes, it's like this, but about anything to do with science fiction. And, we have much fun.
And real stuff as well.
Oh, we have done real stuff. Yeah, we might have to do another one soon.
Yeah. Isn't there a launch soon?
There's a couple of launches, but what's interesting coming up soon is we've got Blue Origin supposedly going to be launching their, at least showing their new Glenn, which is going to be a rival to the SpaceX spaceship, which is going to start doing its hops. Ooh. So we might have to catch up with what's going on in the world of real space sometime soon.
Okay, cool.
So that'll be exciting, good. Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, check them out there. Also, you can obviously hear us on Into the Expanse. And if you've liked this, maybe go and give us a little review on iTunes. It'd be much appreciated.
Yeah.
Maybe a little click on those 5 stars there. Say, oh, yes, we like that. We want more, please.
Yes, that's how we know that you want more. So
yes.
Yeah. Pop along to iTunes. Give all the shows that we've mentioned. Do the bOrgcast have a new Battlestar Galactica one out as well?
You're correct. Yes, the orgs, the bOrgcast, have just recently finished the Deep Space Nine portion of the Star Trek one. They're still going to be doing Star Trek Discovery, but they've also launched bOrgcast Galactica, and they're going to do all of Galactica from the 78 series through the 1980s and into the Ronald D. Morse stuff. So, yes, if you like your Battlestar, which we both do, yes. Go and give that a check. That's at galactica.libsyn.com, or just search for bOrgcast. You can't miss it.
There we go. And I'm pretty sure all this stuff is all in the show notes as well.
Well, you're going to be writing them, so I hope so.
Yeah. It will be. Don't worry.
Excellent.
Do you want to take us out of dry dock then again?
I think we're already well and truly out of dry dock, but we're going to have to flip around, hit the engines again, and head off towards the Donnager for the next episode, because we're burning hard for episode 4. It's been only 3 years me trying to get you to this point now.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We're finally going to get you there.
This is the one where I blow my load, isn't it? It's just a mess.
I don't know. I might have picked it up too much at this point, but you're enjoying the first 3, and that's the important one. So, and I heard from the Black Dog. Hopefully, we've got Jim and Lee also along for the ride as well, listening in. So, I'm going to be interested to see what they all think of this as well.
Good stuff. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
cool.
Thank you everyone for listening, I suppose.
Yes. Thank you very much. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time.